Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. You should all be able to hear me and my colleague Fayaz. Fayaz, can you say hi?
Hey, hi guys, Fayaz here. First of all, warm greetings and welcome to Designing and Programming with Biamp Control Systems webinar. Thanks for your interest in Biamp Control products. This would be a very basic introduction on the hardware of Biamp. The idea is to showcase how simple it is to program the Biamp Control solution as well as on designing part. We'll have a short explanation and a short live demo of how to control, and you will get an idea about the programming part. How do you program it and how we are keeping it simple in order to control it. Myself, Fayazudeen, working as an application engineer based out of India, taking care of post-sales support for Middle East, India, and APAC region as well. Been with Biamp for 6+ years now. Started as pre-sales engineer, now with an apps team for like 3 years now. And co-host Godwin, you already heard him. He will have his introduction as well once he start his session, once I complete with my content as well. So we both are handling this webinar. Today's agenda of this webinar is to explain on how simple it is to control and configure the devices via the Biamp solution. And we'll be taking you through on the hardware details. Software we use to configure the solution and devices supported. We'll see the supported network topologies should be useful when designing a Biamp control solution. Finally, how does Biamp control plays a unique role in controlling the UC devices, which is nothing but an MTR kit. And then there will be a short announcement on the new features, which we have announced it during this infocom. Our major aim is to make it simple to our customers. Either it is how to use the system, not making it complicated to the end user to predict what is happening during the control, making it simple to install. Most of our products are compact, easy to install. You can install it behind the displays or less hassle to mount it on the rack as well. Most important is to making it simple to configure the solution rather than using a high-level programming language skill. Our aim is to configure the solution with basic understanding on the AV functionalities. Simple to expand. If you don't have the driver, we have made it simple to create your own driver through a software called Device Editor. Simple to power as well. You know, PO is widely accepted in the market, and as it stands for simple connection and integration. Let's not forget, we have made it very simple to expand as well via the hardware platform. Let's talk about hardware. As I mentioned, we stand with easy to deploy factor and to be used in all the market. We have products starting from keypads to the rack mount controllers with touch panels and extenders supporting the solution. Starting off with keypads, first we see is Impera Echo. It is a keypad controller, mostly used in huddle room or small to medium conference room solution. It has 8 buttons for the user control with 2-button LED indicators as a feedback response to the user. Those response can be configured as steady light or LED blinks depending upon the usage and requirements. It has 3 form factors, EU, DK, and US version. Depends on how the keypads are installed in various regions as the standard install practice. But the functionality is same for all the versions. This keypad supports one bidirectional RS-232 control, one unidirectional RS-232 control, and obviously you know that you can control IR via an RS-232 port. All you have to do is connect a TX and ground, leave off the RX. You can do that. And it has 3 GPIO ports. This unit has to be powered up through a DC powered adapter. Impera Echo Plus. Only difference between Echo and Eco Plus is Eco Plus can handle or control 2 LAN devices. That's the only difference. Apart from it, it's same what we have seen in Eco. One bidirectional RS-232, one unidirectional RS-232, and 3 GPIO ports. Obviously, it is powered up through DC power adapter. Impera Uniform. I like this keypad, to be very frank. The reason behind is this e-ink display. You can choose the images when programming the unit. Once the file is sent, the images will appear in the front panel as how we have been programmed. So to rephrase, our motive is to keep it simple. This is as simple as it goes to bring images on the keypad. So in order to make it more simple, this keypad can be powered on via PoE2. This has 7 color LED indication to keep it simple for the end user to understand the operation. It fits for all the versions mentioned. So this keypad can support 2 unidirectional RS-232s, IR obviously through an RS-232 port, to control 2 LAN devices, 3 GPIO ports, and it is powered via PoE port. Talking about rack mount controllers, these are all keypads which can work as standalone devices, directly control the devices connected to the keypad. And this is my rack mount controller, which requires a touch panel for you to operate it, or at least a basic GUI control for the controller to be operated. So rack mount controller, this controller need a touch panel for the user interaction. This controller, which is Tango, can support up to 10 LAN devices. 3 unidirectional RS-232, three bidirectional RS-232, 2 unidirectional RS-232. Obviously, IR is through an RS-232 port, 8 GPIO ports, 4 built-in relays. You can have an 8 expanders. What is that expander? We will see it in an upcoming slide. So you can have up to 8 expanders, and obviously it is a PoE powered unit. Very compact controller, can be mounted under the table or behind the display, or you have less hassle to mount it on the rack. Talking about touch panels, we do have touch panels as well. We have 3 variants. One is Aprimo Touch 4 touch panel, which is 4-inch touch panel, works on a portrait mode, fits into all form factors, EU, DK, and US, capacitive touch, LCD interface, ambient light sensors to adjust the screen brightness. It is PoE powered. And Aprimo Touch 7, only difference is it is a 7-inch touch panel. Apart from it, it has the same functionalities, like it fits in all the back boxes, and it has optional table mount as well. You can mount it on the wall or on the table as well with an optional rack mount kit. Ambient light sensor to adjust the screen brightness, PoE powered. 10-inch touch panel. It has a 10-inch. That's the only difference between 7-inch and touch inch. It works on a landscape, where 4-inch works on portrait mode. Optional table mount to be used on wall or on the surface. Moving forward, Aprimo Touch 8i. This is quite a bit unique product, I would say. I means it has an Impera inside, which means that it is a touch panel come a control system. You have to procure a single unit which is a touch panel, and it can also control up to 20 LAN devices as well. So control up to 20 LAN devices. You can mount it on the wall as well as you can mount it on the table. Fits in all the form factors, and it has an additional proximity sensor so that whenever you approach the touch panel, the panel gets activated. Talking about expanders, that is nothing but peripherals. We have Impera Connect X MP6. This is a passive unit. It is not an active unit. It is a passive unit. It works with all other controllers which we have seen. So let's say that you have an Impera Touch 8i. It controls only 20 LAN devices, right? So what if you want to control an RS-232 unit? You'll be using this XMP6. So XMP6 MP6 acts as an expander. It has 1 bidirectional RS-232, 2 unidirectional RS-232, 3 GPIOs, and it has an additional 2 LAN devices. So you can use up to 8 number of XMP6 in a single solution. So whatever I have said, multiplied by 8, you can use it into a single solution. That's a short introduction on our hardwares. We do have a configuration and driver software. The software which we use to configure is called Project Designer. So highly intuitive configuration software, very easy. If you understand the basic or essentials of AV programming, you'd be able to program it very easily. We already have around, I would say, more than 7,000 or around 10,000 drivers included with us. We keep on updating our driver library periodically with the information which we have. Our team does it. So let's see a live demo on configuring a Tango touch panel in a project designer. So agenda here right now is I have a Tango with me and I have a Biamp DSP with me. We'll quickly see how easy and how simple it is to configure through the project designer software. So let me bring in my software here. I've already opened my project designer software in order to save time. I hope everyone can see the screen. Okay, cool. So that's my project designer software, which we use to configure our Biamp Control products. So once you open the software, this is your first page where you will be seeing it. You will have three different sections. One is called touch panel controllers, another is keypad control systems, and discontinued control systems. So you will find the keypad control systems in one section where you will find Oscar, Eco, Eco Plus, Sierra 2, and Uniform. So these are all, we already seen it. These are all standalone keypad controllers where the third-party units or the units which you want to control will get directly connected to the keypad controllers, and the user will interact via the buttons and control the connected units. So that's standalone controllers, I would say. Touch panel controllers, where these controllers requires a touch panel to interact with these controllers, like at least, very least is you need to control these units or interact with these units via a web GUI. So Lima, Tango, and Alpha 2 are the three controllers which definitely requires a touch panel or GUI for the user interaction. Whereas Sierra 2, this is a keypad as well as it has an ability to be integrated with a touch panel as well. So that is the reason you will find Sierra 2 in touch panel controllers as well as in keypad control systems as well. So it works for both. It works on a standalone control as well as you can integrate a touch panel as well to the Sierra 2 as well. And Touch 8i, as we all know that it is a touch panel come a control system. So you can also use it purely as a touch panel, or you can also use it as touch panel and a control system. And you will find some products as discontinued control system. Many of you might be aware that we acquired a company called Needs probably 4-5 years back. These are all the products which Needs were using it as a control system, which is completely discontinued right now. But if in case you have an older project, you want to tweak something or edit something, you can make use of it. But please make sure that once you're starting a new project, don't select anything out of it. This is just to give you an information about these products has been discontinued. Now, if you see each and every product's controllers, you will find some example programs already mentioned over here. So each and every controller will have at least 3 to 5 example programs already been used in the project. All you have to do is just tweak it as per your requirement and edit it, and you're good to go. So our agenda right now is, I'll rephrase it. I have a Tango with me. I have a Biamp DSP with me. I'll take you through about basic understanding about what you have to do in order to control the DSP and what to be done, recommended settings. So once I select on Tango, I already have somewhere around 15 example programs listed already there. You will have multiple themes there, like here it has Bolzano, Aruna theme, and Matterhorn theme. It has multiple solutions. This has a solution of integrating 7-inch touch panel with 2 sources, wireless and cable, and this is for 3 sources, Apple TV and level controls and stuff. So all you have to do is just select the closer match of your requirement, or you can use the same GUI used in it, tweak it, add some buttons or remove some buttons, and you're good to go. So we already have like 15 example programs listed onto it. So if you want to integrate Tango with MTR rooms, we have example file. Tango with Cisco, we have it. So the buttons will resemble same as like how you see it in the Cisco touch panels. So yeah, that's an idea of this example program. Right now, we will start it from the scratch. I don't want to use an example program, so I'll select a blank project here. So once I select a blank project, I'll be given an option of 2 tabs. One is if in case you want to know the manual of Tango, or you want to see how do you want to install the Tango, or you want to know what is the LED indicators that the front panel says. So you can definitely open the manual and see further information by yourself. You want to know what comes in the box, etc., etc. All those basic details, if you want to know, you can always find it. I'll create a new file. Okay. Now, once you have selected the control system, you will be presented with 4 tabs. As you can see at the bottom left corner, you will find a system tab, interface, functions, and feedback. Each and every tab is very much important. You have to program it and configure it in all the tabs once you need to have a full control solutions. So we will see in detail about what it is. So we have choose Tango here. If you're not aware of what does Tango does and what is the capabilities of Tango, no need to worry about it. The graphical representation of the Tango will tell you what is the capabilities of Tango, right? So it has 5 RS-232. Obviously, you can use IR and then RS-232 port as well. It can control up to 10 LAN devices. It says 10 free here, 10 ports. And it has 4 low voltage relays, 8 IO ports. Don't worry about this NEB. NEB is nothing but Needs expansion bus, which was earlier used by Needs team. We don't use it anymore right now, so don't worry about it. This should go away with our newer update of the software. And you have on the top, you will find new project. Once you have saved your project, the project name will be displayed over here, and it says Biamp Project Designer. That's an updated version, 1.39. Moving forward with updated software, this will change with the updated software as well. Towards your left, you will find devices window. This is where you will find the devices which are going to configure or control in your solution or in your design. So you will have, this is what I was mentioning, that we have around 10,000 drivers in our kitty. The units which you're going to control, you will find it over here in the devices window. I'm not just referring to Biamp devices. You will find all the third-party devices as well. Let's say if I want to use a display here, or let's say I'll search for projector, and I have multiple projector brands: Hitachi, InFocus, Smart, Sony. So once I expand the Sony projectors, I'll have multiple drivers already listed under the Sony folder. So let's say that I don't have a Sony projector with me, but just for a reference, just to show an example, I'll select any of the projector here. Let me select anything like this. And what I have to do is just click, drag and drop it where I have to control. So obviously, the projector can be controlled on RS-232 according to this driver. If I move around anywhere on IO port or relay port, you will get a small red cross icon stating that you cannot use this driver to control it on LAN or IO or relay ports. So it only allows me to drag and drop it on the RS-232 port. So I should decide based upon the physical connectivity whether the projector is controlled on first or second or third port. Let me drop it down on second port. Yeah, it can also be controlled on IR. I will keep it up on RS-232. Then I'll be asked for a default timings. So this is a bit important. When for the projectors it is important, but for the displays you don't have to worry much about it. So what is a warm-up type? How much time that projector takes up once you power on the display? Sorry, projector. I would mention 10 seconds. Prevent power off. I have seen many end users. They power off the projector and immediately they try to power it on. Projector takes some time to power it off, right? Power down. So I'll prevent a power off for like 8 seconds. Cool down. 15 seconds. Source change. Yeah, I'll keep it at 1 second. 1 second is more than enough for me. to change the source and change the control. Okay, this is the default timings. If in case, you will get the connection diagram as well. We'll see about it. If in case you missed those information while doing it in the system tab, we can do it in the functions tab as well. Don't worry about it if you have missed the timings over here. So here, as I said, we are controlling Biamp DSP with me right now. I'll search, either you can search it via the manufacturer name or with the model number. I'll select or search with manufacturer name, which is Biamp. I got a Biamp folder. I'll expand the Biamp folder. Obviously, Biamp has many products under our portfolio, right? So I'll search for DSPs. I'll expand the DSP, and the DSP which I have with me right now is Tessera Forte X400. Either you can directly type Tessera Forte X400 or you can search it via the manufacturer name. So same thing, click, drag and drop it. Obviously, I want to control this X400 via a LAN port. And if I move it somewhere, anywhere here, it doesn't allow me to use it. Pretty simple. We'll see about this later. I have added my X400 here. Just for the sake of an example, I'll go ahead and add a screen as well. Obviously, I don't have a screen with me right now, just to tell you how you have to add it. So screen, I'll add a screen and I'll control the screen via an IO port. You can see that, right? You can control the screen on relay port as well as an IO port, but I'll choose IO port for this example. Basic information, how much time you want that port to be open. In simple words, how much time the screen will go up or come down. Generally 10 to 8 seconds. I'll keep 10 seconds here, but the bigger screens requires a bigger time. Do it. So once I keep on adding, you will find that devices being added. That is what we call it as connection diagram for Impera Tango. This is just a graphical representation of what we do it in a CAT file, right, or an SLD file. Generally, we have confusion in the site or on the site. Once we have confusion or once we need to know what is the solution, we always go back to the CAT file or an SLD file, right? SLDs and CAT files are always, there is no confusion in it. It has a very easy understanding of what is the solution is. So thanks to the engineers who have implemented this project designer in the same way as what graphical representation of a CAT file or an SLD file, right? No matter you open this file, might be like after 3 years or 4 years, you will always able to understand the solution. Likewise, any AV, even the sales person can see, and you can say that, oh, there is a projector, they have controlled it via second port of RS-232, and we have controlling an DSP via LAN port, and there is a screen which is being controlled on an IO port. So likewise, obviously in your project, you will have multiple units. You keep on adding the units, your units will be represented in the connection diagram style. So it's simple for you to understand as well. Now that's the device window. Now we have seen the connection diagram window as well. So we have, let's say that is our solution, that is our project. Now we want to control a screen, a projector, and a DSP. Now you know how to find the devices, how to connect it. That's fine. Now let's talk about a properties window right now. Let's start with Tango. Properties windows will help us to configure the devices connected onto it, to configure the control system, to configure the connected devices, or the basic parameters where the control system requires to communicate with the units. So that is what a property windows does it. So I have selected a Tango here. You will find you can change the name of the Tango, location, nodes, or these are all just editable. Let's say that you want to tell your junior programmer that, okay, this is the project, blah, 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 you want to do in the next set, etc., etc. You can note it down over here. You can set the host name of the unit. You want to use DHCP, you use that, or I'll stick with static IP here. Now you have to set an IP address for this unit. Currently my laptop is in 1 dot range. I'll change this to 1.100. Okay. Pin code settings. You can password protect your GUI. I have seen in mostly in a town hall session where the employees, they play around with the levels, right? If it's kept nearby to the stage, or the placement, if the placement of the touch panel is not proper. So you can password protect your GUI via the pin code, and or if you want to password protect your particular page, let's say that audio control page, you want to password protect it, only a qualified engineer or a project engineer has to handle it. You can protect it for the certain pages. Okay, let me go ahead and enable it, and I'll set a pin here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Rest of the settings are self-explanatory. Due to the time constraint, I cannot go into a detail about each and every settings. We have our uh, online training for the Biamp Control. Please do attend it, or you can reach out to us if you want to know more about these settings as well. So we do have our control system can also be communicated on an NTP server. Based upon the time events, you can trigger some functions. So that's on Tango. I have configured my Tango. Let's move around. Projector, obviously you will find the manual of the projector and you will get those baud rate settings. We don't have this projector, not to worry about it. Talking about X400, let me bring in my Tessera software here. You guys would have been already familiar with what is Tessera software. If not, don't worry about it. So I need to find an IP address of my Tessera's DSP, which is 192.168.1.110, and make sure that you enable the telnet once you are trying to control this DSP. This is not just for Biamp control, it is for any control systems. You have to enable this telnet settings. So I got my details here. I'll go back and 192.168.1.110. Cool. If you have password protected your DSP program, you can enter your username and password. That's done. I don't have it anymore with me now, so I'll leave it blank. So for screen, we have already given 10 seconds. You can edit it if you want to. So this property window is nothing but you are setting up some information so that the Tango can reach out to the connected units. They can communicate with each other. So now I want to define what I want to control via the DSP. So I'll go into the edit. Before doing that, I'll quickly bring in my file. This is my short file which I have programmed it. I purposely made it very simple. Some of you audio programmers might be laughing at it, but I purposely made it very simple just to keep it simple for this webinar. So we'll be controlling two presets here, which is mute preset and an unmute preset. So that is what we'll be trying to control. And we'll also try to control this first level block. And basically you can control all the blocks, but due to the time constraint, to keep it very simple, I'll be controlling only the two presets, mute and unmute, and the first level block. So what is my instance tag of my level block is level 1, and my presets are mute and unmute. That's more than enough. I'll come back to the, so preset name, mute. You have to match the same name what you have given it in the Tessera file. Now I'll go to the level. The block which I'm trying to control is level block. Instance tag is level 1. First channel, minimum level and maximum value is same. My port name is chan1. And basically you can control all the blocks. As you can see, you can control some logic instance. You can send some custom TTP commands. You can control the routers like source selectors and routers, mixers. You can do it, but let's keep it simple for this webinar. We don't have time for it. So this is the three control which we want to do it, which is, we have already mentioned it. I'm done with it. So that's it, right? So that's the system window. System window will allow me to connect the connected devices and to configure the devices to establish the communication between the Tango and to the connected devices. So let's move ahead with interface window. Interface window, this will allow us to program the GUI, right? So whatever you want to reflect it in your touch panel or in your web browser, you will be programming it over here. You can create multiple pages. As you can see, you can create multiple pages. You can add a resolution. You can change the resolution. You can import some pages. Like if you have an already existing project, you want to import those pages into this current file, you can do that. Import it and import those pages over here. To keep it very simple, I'll be using only one page here just to trigger two presets and level control. You can insert background image, obviously. I don't have any images. Let me stick it up with some background color. Okay, that's fine. Obviously, you can insert images. And let's say I want to insert images here. Sorry, a text, just to showcase that this is the home page. You can insert some text. Towards your left, you will find buttons. These are all predefined buttons. Sorry. These are the buttons which is already there. I'll rename this text as page. I don't want to spend much time about it because as a control system programmers, we already know to align the system, to insert the buttons. So let's not spend much of a time here. Okay, home page. You can create multiple pages, as I mentioned. Create pages. You can create multiple sub pages. Here you will have buttons. These are all predefined buttons. Right now, currently it is in Bolzano theme. You want to have a 10-inch Arona theme, you can use it, right? This is the theme which predefined buttons, which is already there. But let's see how Matterhorn blue looks like. That's the button for Matterhorn theme. You can mix and match the theme. It doesn't mean you have to stick only with one theme. You can select multiple themes here and use multiple buttons in the same page or in the same project. So not to worry about it. So likewise, you have multiple themes which will help you to use the buttons. I'll stick with Bolzano, which I like it. I'll use this. If in case you want to create your own buttons, you can do that. You can go into an insert and you can create your own buttons. You have your own buttons, no worries. You can drag and drop it. So I'll drag and drop the button over here. So as I said, I need two buttons. One, I'll name it as mute. And you can see two states, right? This is inactive state and this is active state. Once you press the mute button, I need to change my button into a muted icon, and I'll give it a red color. Unmute. Okay. I'll mute. Green color. Okay, cool. That's my two button to trigger a mute preset and unmute preset. I'll go back and select not all. Yeah, I'll select the slider here to control the levels. Let me choose this one. You already have predefined levelers. Just to showcase, this is for media control block, and this is our camera control. You can zoom in, zoom out, camera up, down, left, and right. You can do that. You have all sorts of predefined buttons already mentioned here. You can use it with multiple themes. So that's what we are trying to control over here. I'll do one thing. I'll create another page just to showcase the lock feature, and I'll just mention a page flip here. Okay. Quickly give a different color. I know this file looks quite a bit crappy, but apologies due to time constraint. Let me give a back button to go back to the home page. And let me insert something over here. Let's not leave it as blank. Groups. Okay, let's select this one. Okay, it's fine. Actually, we can also use a curtain controller button over here. Yeah. You can align it. Yeah, but right now I can't do it. Time constraint again. So that's what I want to do is I want to protect this page. Let's say this is my audio control page. I want to protect it and I lock the page. Let's see what happens once we are done with it. So you can create multiple pages. You can page flip between multiple pages. You already know we are all control system programmers. You can shift between the pages. That's how you create a GUI here. Pretty simple. Let's quickly move forward and see what happens in the functions tab. Interface we have done with it. You can insert background images. You can insert buttons. You can format it. Let's move to the functions tab. Let's start with our first page. So now we have two buttons. One is to trigger a mute preset, and another one is to trigger an unmute preset. Whatever units which you have connected in the system window will appear over here. Once you open or expand the drivers, these are all the drivers which is all built in into it. So we used a Sony projector. The Sony projector has these commands: power commands, level commands, control commands, right? So it is all built in the driver. Let me select a preset here. So recall a preset, click drag and drop it. I want to recall my mute preset, that's fine. Click drag and drop it. I want to recall my unmute preset. Simple. Now this button, I want to convert this button as a toggle button. Instead of just doing it as a toggle button, I want to convert that as a mute button. One press mute, another press unmute. So what I have to do is I'm converting this button as a mute button. So add a mute function to it. Once I add a mute function, you can find there are two actions defined to that button. So one action is for mute on, and the other action is for mute off. So I'll quickly go back to the control sections, drag and drop it. This is for my mute on. Yes, mute on functions, mute on. I'll drag and drop it again. Now this time I'll select mute off. Mute off. Okay, you can see two functions here, same button. One is for mute on, channel one. There's only one channel, mute on, mute off. Now this slider, I would have to use it for level control. So I'll use a level here, drag and drop it. That's it. Yeah, add it. That's it. I missed a page flip button. Sorry, I'll go back. Quickly create a button. Name it as page flip. Okay. Screen curtain control, we don't have it, but still screen control, drag and drop it. This is for, you will be presented with three options. Pressing and releasing it, the IO button will be open for 15. I guess we have given 10 seconds or 15 seconds. So it will be enabled for 15 seconds. Or you can also change the buttons like press and hold it. Once you remove it, release it, the screen will stop. Or you can select it, you want to run that button for some certain time period. So let's say I'll choose the first button. Now we have mentioned it as 10 seconds here. Okay, run up for 10 seconds, yes. Screen down, press again, run down for 10 seconds. If I have another buttons, I'll mention it as screen stop. That's it, right? Now I want a page flip to happen. So we have a jump page here, drag and drop it. Now I have a page created, which is called page flip, add it. Now I'll go back to the page flip page and I'll do a jump page here and I'll page flip it to home page, which is already there. Done, we are already given all the functions, functions to the buttons, it's all set. Now feedback is very important. If you want to receive a real-time feedback and you want to trigger some basic functions with the feedback, right? You can use an auto feedback, you can enable the auto feedback, or you want to trigger some time-based events, let's say that, or system events, let's say that, add a condition. Let's say that when my projector pass status is off, I need my screen to go up automatically. You don't have to trigger a screen up. So that's the feedback session. So once your projector is off, obviously the projector will be giving you a off string commands. It will be received over here and automatically your projector screen will go up. Likewise, you can have, based on your feedback, you can trigger some sequence. Not just one sequence, you can trigger multiple sequence. As you can see here, for this power off, screen is going up, you can drag and drop any sequence over here. You can add multiple sequence as you like. You can also trigger some time-based events. You have seen that NTP option. Once you have an NTP server, let's say that Saturday and Sunday, I need power off presets to be triggered. I can drag and drop, or I can press a button internally into it. You can do that. That's the feedback. Or with the feedback, you have two keypads. You want to combine the keypads and uncombine the keypads via an IO button or via a button trigger. You can do that. So feedback is a larger section to cover. I might not be able to cover everything which has been shown over here. So to the time constraint, I'll keep it simple. Feedback is something where you receive a real-time feedback and you trigger some events based onto it. So we are done with it. Let's go ahead and upload the file. You will have an upload option at the bottom right corner. You will find it in all the tabs, not just in feedback. So I'll go ahead and upload it. You will have an option of either uploading it via LAN or USB. Once you have a USB connected, it will ask you whether you want to upload it via LAN or USB. I only have LAN option here. I'll start it. I'll select my Tango, which is 1.100, and I start loading my file. Another cool feature which I want to take you guys through is let the file gets uploaded. What happens is we don't have a separate firmware with us. The project file which you are trying to upload, you can see, I can show you. The project file which you are trying to upload it will already have a firmware in it. You don't have to update the firmware. You can see that, right? Firmware unpacking. So the software first checks the connected control system, whether it has an old firmware or a new firmware. If it has an old firmware, the software itself will update the firmware to the connected system. We don't have a separate firmware so that you update the units individually and then you send the projects. Let's say that you have defined or you have handed over a project. You go to the site after 2 or 3 years. Obviously, you will have an updated software version in your laptop. Once you go connect, tweak it, edit it, and you send the file, with the file automatically the firmware will also get updated. So that's what it is. So my software, my program is already sent. Let me quickly grab my GUI. I spoke so soon. No, I want to take it from the scratch. Okay. So want to enter the IP address of your, obviously I have a touch panel with me, but I can't show you. So I'm using a GUI, sorry, web browser here to showcase the GUI. All you have to do is enter the IP address of your control system, 192.168.1.100. Done. The GUI which we have configured, it's already there on the screen. So I'll quickly bring in my Tessera software here. Let's try to control it. There you go. We haven't done anything high level programming here just to control. This is same for all the units, right? It's just drag and drop. It is not just for Biamp units. As you can see for the projectors, I have used a drag and drop option. So mute and unmute. And you can see the sync here. Once I mute it, you will get a mute sync because we have added as a mute function. So let's say what happens if I mute a single particular channel. That's my level control for my first channel. It's quite very instant. And you can see the inactive state reflecting over here. And you see that small circle thing, right? To be very frank, I don't like it. I've been asked many times during a trade shows like, why is your control system very slow? No, that is not slow. That is a feature. But I personally don't like it. What you have to do is you can go to the design, project indication. This is the circle thing. Pie chart, bar chart. Bar chart is fine, but that circle thing looks like it's buffering. So if you don't need it, make it as transparent or to 0%. That's what I always do. Let's see what happens when I do a page flip. There you go. It asks for a password. So we have locked the screen, right? What is our password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My pages. Let's say my audio control page opens. Going back to my home page. This is what our agenda is, to showcase how easy it is to program. That's what I'm done with it. Okay, now you might have an query or you might have a doubt about what if you don't find your devices under the device library, right? So let's say that I'll quickly close this window. Let's say that I have found that units or devices in my devices window. But let's say that at many of your projects, you will not find all the devices under the device library. What do you want to do it? Yeah, we have a software called Device Editor. I'll quickly bring in here. So this device editor will help us to create our own driver, or in AV control language, create our own module. So that is what a device editor is. Obviously, you need to have an API in hand once you're creating a device. So let me go ahead and select new. Quickly, I'll run through it. Name is, let me say, ABC model. Type, let's say I'm doing it for amplifier. Manufacturer, Sony. Sony doesn't have amplifier. Okay. Let me select new manufacturer. And okay, that manufacturer is ABC. Device version, always select an updated device version. This is the device version of this device editor. How many times you have revised it? Model number 1, 2, 3, 4. Description, you can enter it. So now either you want to write a code for RS-232 or for a LAN devices, or you can also write a code for both the RS-232 and LAN devices. So let me select LAN device first. TCP, how do you want to control it, whether it is on TCP, UDP, PJ-Link, Telnet, SSS, and port number. Obviously, you have to find all this information in the manual. Let me select 5005 just for the sake of it. And here you go. You write the commands, you write the strings let's say all I can quickly remember is P on or P off. That's how you write a code. Wall plus. As you can see here, you can convert it to an, right now we are in an ASCII mode. Let's say when I change it to hexadecimal, it gets automatically converted and to the decimal mode as well. So let's keep it up ASCII one, and okay, RS-232. Obviously you have to find all this information in your manual, and here let's say on, and at sometimes you will be prompted to enter the carriage, return, and line feed, right? You don't have to, you can just select it, CR and line feed, and you can use that. Once I convert it to hexadecimal, what is the hexadecimal value for CR? Okay, 0D. For line feed, it is 0A. So likewise, you write a code here, write a string here for the devices which you want to control it, file, save as, and here is my modules which I have created, customized for my project. Mostly it is test. So you will save it in the location, and I think you're good to go. That's how you create a module or a device driver in your file. So once you go to the file options, this is where you will define your device drivers library. So you can add a location. You should have a specified folder where the project designer will keep on looking for you an updated driver. So once you select it, select those folder, whatever the drivers you are adding it in those folders will be updated in your file. That's a short introduction which I wanted to. As you can see, there is an ABC module which is already added. How simple it is, right? So manufacturer, we have selected it as an amplifier. Model number is 123. We have written it for RS-232 and LAN. You can see that, right? It goes with both RS-232 and LAN. This is just a sample thing which I have written. So let me connect it to LAN here. Okay, I'm fine with it. You can see the driver which you have just used it as an example, it is already added. Let's go to the functions tab. ABC module is already added. We have only given power on and power off. All you have to do is just drag and drop it to the buttons which you're going to control it. So that's how simple it is to create your own drivers and program it. Moving forward, I've taken too much of my allocated time. Sorry. That's how you program the software. How do you bring in the GUI which you have programmed it into your touch panel? So once you have configured it, once you have sent the file, you have a small pinhole button at the rear side or at the bottom side of the touch panel. All you have to do is use a pinhole. What do you call that? Paperclip. Sorry, paperclip, and insert it. You will enter into the settings window. Enter the control system address in the touch panel, and you select connect to the control system. And yes, your GUI, what you have configured, will be there in your touch panel. So that's a short introduction to the project designer software, which I wanted to bring into your notice. I'm done with my session. I'll hand it over to Godwin. He will share his expertise in designing a solution as well as a new feature update as well. Godwin, over to you.
Fayaz,
Let me know. Yeah.
just before you hand over, there's some questions that are there. We'll just quickly go through it. You or I could answer as we go, right? So
Okay.
there's a question about.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So there's this question: what about tokens that are sent with login and have to be included in commands? I'm not quite sure I understand that.
For the login credentials, once you are configuring a driver, you might have seen a tab called username and login credentials there. You can enter the username and login credentials over there so that it goes with the device driver commands. It's same for Biamp devices as well as your third-party devices.
All right. Then we have also, can we program for iPad user interface? This is
Yes,
a
we do have.
web-based UI, so you can run it on your like a web browser on your iPad or any other tablet for that matter. You can create a
We do
shortcut
have app.
on the.
Yeah, we do have app called Biamp Control app. You can download it free of cost. You
Yeah.
can use it in your iPad iOS platform.
Next is what about a mix of ASCII and hex commands? Uh,
Mix of ASCII and hex commands. I haven't seen that yet. Is it
so within the same driver, whether it's RS-232 or LAN, some commands being ASCII and some commands being hex. Honestly, I haven't
different
seen
commands?
it.
Yeah, different commands. It works. All you have to write is different. Let's say that power on is on ASCII, power off is on hexadecimal. Yeah, you can do that, but not in the same
Okay.
string.
Yeah. Uh, Can you please show how to load the program? I missed it. So you will be getting a recording of a link to the recording. You can just review it. If you want us to repeat stuff, you'll have to come for our in-person class at a location across the globe. A question I have been asked is it possible to display the real time on the home page and screen? I don't believe that's possible. Fayaz.
Home page and screen. I'm not sure.
I don't
Sorry, I
think we
didn't.
can display the time. It's probably a feature that may be added later.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
will we receive a copy of this recording? Yes, sir, you will. Okay. All right. Okay. Forte control only over telnet, no SSH options. So that is something I'll talk about. We do have SSH option as well. Can we pin protect specific pages? Yeah, you will see additional information in the coming slides. Just skipping through some of the
I did
stuff that we
show that
covered.
pin protected pages as well.
Yeah. What about a toggle switch to mute the system? You can do that. So here we just covered like a basic flow of how to get your UI working with your various drivers, right? Within the software, there are different options and different behaviors that you can choose for your buttons and your sliders and meters and things like that. So certainly that option is available. Please show us how to find a driver, Panasonic display via LAN. Again, this was something that Fayaz covered, but on the left-hand side in the driver list, it's very intuitive. You can actually just type in the exact model number, including the hyphen and stuff, or you can just search by brand. It will filter through and give you the filtered list of listings as per your text. So it should be pretty easy to find. And there are regular updates. So once you install the software on your laptop, every a couple of months, there's a regular schedule where we include more and more drivers to your system. It'll give you a pop-up notification and ask you to update the drivers. We also need
Uh,
the wiring scheme of relays and GPIOs and voltage details of relay and GPIO. So this information is specific to the third-party equipment that you're using, right? So the relays and GPIOs are generally configured and wired in a very universal way. So if you just look it up online, you'll probably find some articles on our support website. You should be able to find the wiring details for that. Unfortunately, we can't really cover it in a webinar, but you can reach out to Biamp support or any other OEM support, and they should be able to help you. It should be very similar. Fayaz, you had something to say?
no, I'm good. You have given a long pass. I thought I'll share my
Okay.
content.
I do see a repeated comment that that we were not audible, but I think we are audible to the general audience. So I'm afraid if it's a specific issue to one or two people, it may be something on your side. I think from our side, the audio and video is definitely broadcasting. So apologies if it didn't work for you, but I think it's working for everybody else. So maybe troubleshoot it on your device. Maybe something is not set right. Okay, so I'll continue with the session. We're just a little bit more left. The design programming aspect is complete as promised within the hour. So we'll just go through some of the new features and some topology discussion. So Fayaz, if you can just transfer it over to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
already
was
did.
just,
Thank you,
yep.
guys.
Okay, so I just wanted to take you through some of the topologies that we can build with Biamp Control products. Fayaz covered some specific examples, but we wanted to demonstrate how these all work together in a very flexible way. So one of the very simple examples is a Tango controller with a touch screen, which is what you saw just now. Pretty straightforward. And if you look at the uh, project designer side of things, you'll see that the touch screen doesn't really show in the program schematic. And that's because the touchscreen is a passive device. It simply syncs with the UI configuration stored on the controller. So you don't really have to do much in the project designer. On the touchscreen itself, as Fayaz pointed out, you press the button, configure the IP address of the controller, and it'll just find it on the network. Another example is two controllers working together. So you have a Tango and as well as a Touch 8i, which is a touchscreen with a built-in controller. So this combination also works pretty well. The difference is when you make a system from this in the project designer, you will see the Tango controller, of course, with all its ports, but you also see a Touch 8i associated. So you get the 20 LAN ports of the Touch 8i along with the Tango port. So you've got an expanded system now. And the programming is, again, very straightforward, drag and drop, whether you drag it and drop it on the Touch 8i or the Tango, it doesn't really matter. It all works together. And it applies, all of the ports have the access to all of the program logic and the if-else logic, things like that within the project. So this is another example of a controller, but this time with an expander. Fayaz touched on this earlier. So if you wanted some physical ports, in addition to the 20 LAN ports that the Touch 8i supports, meaning it can control up to 20 Ethernet devices. But let's say you had a projector which only has a serial port. You can add an MP6, and it all connects over the Ethernet. And it's as simple as adding the Touch 8i and then finding the MP6 in your project designer options, dragging and dropping it, and it just works together. One thing you'll notice that in this schematic, you see two devices. One is the X400 DSP to Sierra Forte, and the other is the MP6. Yet on the Touch 8i side, out of the 20 ports, it's showing only one used. So only the X400 is actually using the quota of the 20 ports. Any Impera style device, controller, touchscreen, expander, although they connect over the network, it does not use the from the quota of the available ports for a controller. And this applies to other controllers as well. So it's an internal connection, doesn't count towards the total limit. So this is an interesting setup where we have one controller with multiple touch screens, and each of the touch screens can have a dedicated page. And this is great if you have multiple rooms or just different areas, maybe the entrance, reception, a dedicated touchscreen for the internal users and things like that. We can dedicate page. And of course, you'll have to, while building your project, make sure you're building the UI for the right touchscreen. And again, because it's just a passive device with no control options, the touchscreens themselves don't really show on the project designer software. And to demonstrate the overall flexibility, here we have a Tango along with two wall controllers, Echo Plus and a Uniform 8, which all three are controllers, but again, you drag and drop them, and all the ports across all of these controllers now will show up in the project designer to be used with any driver that of your choosing. And additionally, you can add touchscreens as well. So how does it look in the schematic? You'll see the Tango, you will see the Uniform and the Echo Plus, and all of their ports as well. So very intuitive, very straightforward to expand your system. Another example with a Touch 8i MP6 expander and a touch panel. So just driving home the point that you can use these devices in any combination that you want. Okay. All right. Next, let's talk about Biamp control of UC. It's a very brief little topic here because we support Microsoft Teams rooms and Zoom rooms as well. When you're using an MTR style device, the associated touchscreen has a certain UI style and options and controls on it, which are specific to Teams or Zoom. And we support that option on our touchscreen as well. And you can actually emulate that, build that into your project using the downloadable control plugin from our website. For Zoom rooms, we have sample files on Cornerstone, which is our support website, support.biamp.com. And once you incorporate that, it shows up exactly like how it would show on an official Zoom or Teams touchscreen control. Okay. So let me just see if there are any questions. Can this support? Someone got a question. Can this support multiple room with single controller, and what are its limits? So you can have up to 5 pages locked to touchscreens. Correct me if I'm wrong, Fayaz.
Yeah, Godwin, you can display 5 individual touchscreens running their own GUI. Yeah.
Right. And as far as that's multiple rooms. So you can have up to 5 touchscreens across up to 5 rooms, and each of them can be displaying a different control. That's possible with a single controller. As far as room combined divide is concerned, we can do up to 2. The system continues to remain simple. We can't really do extremely complex logic. So we can build a room combined divide for 2 rooms. So you can create a, across 2 touch screens, you can create a control for a single big room. Or when you split the room, the touchscreens can then start displaying the controls for the separate rooms as well. So a room combined divide for up to 2 rooms. All right, let me just move ahead and then we'll come back to the questions. Let's talk about new features. So a couple of the features Fayaz already covered because some of the features we recently added in updates this year and end of last year. Those are easy to miss, so we figured it'll be nice to talk about it so all of you are aware. So we continue to improve Tessera support. This Biamp Control is a relatively recent acquisition, so we've been building out our platforms to be more tightly integrated. So the Tessera module continues to get updates. So we support things like importing blocks from the Tessera configuration. If you look in the property sheet of the Tessera blocks, you'll see a export to project designer option. Then we support TTP subscriptions, right? So real-time updates to things like meters and level control sliders. We support control of launched systems. So I don't know if most of you are aware, but our Tessera Forte X line of products support auto configuration called Biamp Launch. And it auto configures, if you're using all Biamp peripherals, it'll configure your mics and speakers automatically. So it's like a one-touch commissioning. The only thing is the configuration is locked. We cannot control it like how you control a traditional DSP. So with Improved support, we now support control of launched systems through the Biamp Control. And there are more Tessera blocks supported now. If you see the new module, you'll just see those options. If you're familiar with the way it has worked, we had much fewer options earlier. On the QTX side, which is our sound masking solution, so the QTX is our sound masking controller, we support pretty much all of the user-facing functions. So zone control, BGM source selection, volume control of sound masking, paging, background music, all that is available on the Biamp Control platform. So one of you had asked the question about whether we can use SSH for control. Yes, we can. Previously, we could only do Telnet. Now we support SSH as well. And for QTX, it uses the HTTPS protocol, which earlier used to be HTTP. So we do support HTTPS as well as part of the security enhancements. Timer events is also a relatively new function that was added. So it's great for automatic shutdown and startup of system. You can select a specific time of day, a day of week, and during programming and demonstration, you might have seen in the last option, the feedback tab, there is a timer event section. Everything is drag and drop within the software. So when you select that option, there is a section where it'll ask you to drag and drop things that you want to happen at a specific time. Maybe you want the screen to come down, for example. You can just go to your screen driver and just select the screen down option, drop it on the timer event, and it'll trigger at the chosen time. So that's timer events. We have some driver enhancements that was recently added, specifically wake on LAN option. So all Ethernet devices, almost all of them have some sort of wake on LAN feature. Not all of them, but some. Most of them do, where things like TVs with LAN ports or media players with LAN ports support. Even your computer support wake on LAN, where if another device sends a wake on LAN packet, it'll bring the device out of standby or even from a power off state. And this can replace the power on sequence of that driver. So any LAN device that supports wake on LAN can simply use this as an option instead of the power on sequence that we used to use before. So wake on LAN, a new feature in across all our drivers. The Impera web interface that you just saw in the demo now supports HTTPS, and it also supports custom certificate upload, right, to meet security requirements. It also meets the Microsoft Teams room requirement. So it's a little more kind of a official solution for Teams rooms controls. So HTTPS connection now available on the Impera web interface. Now we also support pin access for the web interface. Anytime a user wants to go to their browser on their personal device and access the UI, it'll present a pin code that they'll need to enter. The dedicated Aprimo panels, the touch interfaces that we have, those will retain the pin code. So you don't need to enter the pin code every single time. But for the browser access, we can enable this extra security feature. And this is an option available in the project designer. So once you click on use pin, you can enter the 6-digit pin. Okay, this is a feature that's been requested quite often. I'm happy that we have this now. Impera protected pages. So we can pin lock certain pages, especially things like admin controls or pages meant for internal users. So the page flips can now support a pin code access. Again, something that Fayaz spoke about earlier. So we used to have an option workaround where you could create some pages and creatively create page flips based on the number input. That was a lot of work. So this is a native feature now. I'm happy it's there. Okay, so all of these features that we spoke about in the previous slides, these are all already there in the previous version or the version before that. So if you download the software today and just poke around the software, you will be able to spot these features and use them. This next feature is not available yet. It's coming later. Again, something I'm looking forward to because as Fayaz mentioned, it's a pretty nice product, very simple product, very robust. It supports a e-ink display. So even if the device doesn't have power, the symbols continue to remain visible on the screen. The only option to change these symbols used to be that you had to connect it to the project designer, then reconfigure it to update the symbols. But now we support page flips on the uniform control panel, and it's pretty simple. So click any button, and you get access to the next menu or a sub page. And this is the only time it'll require some power when you press the button to refresh the display. At this point, if you remove the power, the display still retains the controls, right? And then you can hit back and go back to the main menu. So this is a pretty cool feature addition to the Uniform 8i, and we support up to 5 pages total. So 5 sub pages for the main menu, and the feature is expected sometime later this year. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the session. Okay, I think we can call it a day. Thank you all for attending once again. Appreciate your questions. Very good use of the questions tab. Very relevant questions. Hopefully, we were able to do it justice. If you were not satisfied with any of the answers, again, feel free to reach out to us. We will be happy to have a conversation with you, cover your questions, designs, requirements, whatever is as far as Biamp products are concerned. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.